Welcome to Saniliac Petroglyphs Historic State Park in Michigan.
So there's many interpretations. There's no one interpretation that's right for everybody. I can tell you a story today. You could hear the same similar story from Don or somebody else. It'll be slightly different. Doesn't mean one's right or wrong. But for some reason there was a change that was felt to be made. They were carved by, we believe, the Anishinaabe. That's kind of a blanket term for all the people who lived in the Great Lakes region. We know them today as like the Chippewa, Ottawa, Ojibwa, Potawatomi. They would have carved the petroglyphs using a harder rock or an antler or a bone. We got the petroglyphs because they came here to pass down their stories and traditions. It's green because of the roof. It's algae that grows on it. But if we take the roof away, then we get moss and lichen. Just like at that end, that kind of deteriorates the rock. The rock was rediscovered after a big fire came through in 1881. It burned a bunch of vegetation off the rock. Those are really kind of the important points from that. For a junior tour, I talk about somewhere between 2 and 5, depending on how it goes. Some days attention spans are short, like mine.
I
can tell you, if you go out on a hiking trail, this is a long rock, but you'll see some really big ones too. And there's one that if you knock on it, it's unhollowed. Wow. We're going to talk about one right here on this side first, and then we're going to go right across to the other side when we're done. If you look right up above the clipboard, you've got a head, a body, legs, around it is a tail, and then off that tail are 3 spikes. The clipboard shows what it used to look like quite a long time ago, 30 to 40 years. This is Miss Peshu. She's the underwater panther. She lives in rivers and lakes all around here. What's that? Well, I don't know because cats don't like water, but she does. Because she lives at the bottom. And when she gets mad or angry or wants to bring trouble to someone, she takes that tail with spikes on it and thrashes it around in the water. And that'll make waves and whirlpools. But the water also hits those spikes and shoots up into the air.
That's cool.
But everything that comes up always comes back down. Do you know what we call water that falls from the sky?
Rain.
That's right, rain. She's the one that was believed to have made it rain.
Really? That is cool.
She also is believed to, when she would see boats coming, to create those storms as well, because she's also the protectors of the waters in the Great Lakes region.
Someone needs to protect her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some try.
But ever since I almost drowned, I'm scared of water now.
That's not good.
You didn't almost drown.
You know what's something good to do? You take lots of swim classes and learn how to swim. You start little, kind of shallow. And eventually one day,
This is a pretty cool petroglyph.
like down in the tropics or Thailand, where they have water that's so clear you can see 20 feet to the bottom, and there's colorful fish and corals.
And
I used to be afraid of the ocean.
are these the idiots that are engraving their names and the words in here?
Yes. Well, anytime you see that, that's
Jesus
vandalism. Right, so actually, if you stay kind of right to that side, it's going to be just above that hole. You might have to be closer to that pole this time of day to see it, because I can tell you from where I'm at, I barely can.
Right there?
Kind of, yep. So you've got some short lines,
Oh, yeah.
2 long lines, an eye, and some more short lines. This is the thunderbird. There's some tribes who say he's so big when he flies, he blocks out the sun, and when he flaps his wings, he makes hills and valleys. But he doesn't fly well when it's raining. So when the underwater panther makes it rain, to scare her away, he flaps his wings really loudly and shoots lightning out of his eyes. She doesn't like that, so she makes it rain harder.
That is cool. It
That's
just,
fighting.
Yep, that's exactly it.
it just hurts my heart to see idiots that do this.
I'm sure you know what wind, rain, and lightning is called, though, right? What is it?
No.
Is it a thunderstorm? So it's how stories explain things that went on around us. Talk about at least one more.
We heard a big thunderstorm.
Oh, yeah, when we were camping.
Was it a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, over at in Muskegon, we went to Muskegon to camp. Anyway, it was
Well,
a
no,
storm
we
that
were
we
here a
saw.
couple weeks ago when it was thawing.
Okay, I was saying, I know in this area we had
Yeah,
some, we never hear, it always goes around us.
We
North
live,
is-
we live right by Fort Gratiot County Park, right by Lake Fort State Park.
Okay.
Like about a couple miles. They always miss. It can be
I remember that it was like
thunder and lightning everywhere around us. There's nothing but us. They skip right over us.
Yeah.
they said that there was supposed to get storms in Muskegon. We could actually see all blossom and come over here. That's when the tornado hit, like a landing net thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was bad. I'm like, of course, I'm out, whenever I'm home, I never get storms. But then when I'm away, the storms come. So
We get, it's odd. It's where I live too, about 30 miles southwest of here. We're right kind of on the edge of the Saginaw Valley, so I'll just
Where do you
watch-
live?
Carroll?
hell yes,
So
yeah.
I'll watch storms come and then they just go around us. It's like, oh, I should have watered my garden today. Okay, so we're actually going to come right down here on the end for one more. It's going to be this one right here. See? So this is the deepest one that's on the rock. And it's believed they came back often to tell the story. And when they did, they would use their teaching stick or another hard rock, an antler, or a bone to carve it. His name is Edmo Dakowit. In English, he's the bowman or the archer. He's the chief of knowledge. His body is like the long part of an arrow. The V above the head is just like an arrowhead, and it points to thoughts, prayers, and teachings. He shoots through his bow and arrow into the future, so the next 7 generations of people can learn from it. This is the image that most often when visitors come that are Native American, they will pray or meditate at.
That's cool.
Sometimes they'll leave offerings like tobacco or copper. So it shows us it's not something that was only important a long time ago. It's still important today.
That's awesome.
I know what baby means.
You know what?
Phoebe. What?
It means little.
Does it?
You little cuteness.
Can't remember it now. Do you want to see the bats? So it's kind of a junior tour. I know there's a lot on here I didn't talk about. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to ask. If you look right up above this pole in the corner.
Oh, you see him?
Oh, you know what? Let me get my light. I didn't realize it was that far.
I
Is that
see
a bat?
him. Yeah, there's some right here. I like that. You don't like them?
I don't see them.
There's
See?
one there.
There's one.
And there's one there. And then there's one over in that corner.
That's cool.
My grandpa used to live up, well, Port Hope, and he had a giant barn. It was collapsing, and they would swarm out of there at night and,
I believe it.
and
And
swoop at us.
it's usually about mid-June to about mid-July. There will be, I don't know, maybe 20 to 40 in some of the different corners. They'll be
Wow.
out. They have the little ones, the babies.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they just fall asleep so much they stop holding on, or they can only hold on for so long. They'll just fall down. So I spend part of my day picking up baby bats, put them in the wood pile. Sure, I pick up the same ones 2 or 3 times after they're Big ones go and get them at night. Oh, kind of neat to watch them grow up. It's
Big
little
bat.
frustrating when I'm in the middle of the tour.
And they
going,
fall down?
Oh, I've had that happen. I've pointed out, like in this image right here, plop. And I'm, well, that shows our bat problem.
There's a bat.
Yep, and then we get people who aren't, they're not too
So
thrilled
basically,
with
this rock
bats
was a
that are
big
little
old
nervous.
chalkboard.
They're flying foxes.
Flying foxes? What was that?
So basically, this rock was a big old chalkboard of sorts. Okay?
Kind of, yeah. Or another way to think of it is like we've got, paintings or pictures
Yeah,
or
yeah.
photographs that we try to tell a story visually.
Yep.
Kind of the same thing, just because, they made their seasonal rounds and they traveled different places. They didn't want to have a bunch of stuff to take with them, so they'd leave their stories and things.
Kind of like a logbook of sorts.
Kind of, yeah.
Like an old tribal logbook. It's crazy, like how they were, like with GPS and all stuff we have these days, that we know exactly where everything is. Like
Or
back,
they come back to the same spot.
yeah, how they know exactly where to come every single year, or, bypasses. That's great.
Oh, turn left at the big giant tree.
Well, so they had, the river is just on the other side of those trees, or the east branch of it. They used to
Okay.
come up closer to the rock. So on the other side, there's one, it kind of looks like some mountains. It's a canoe, and it's the chief and his 3 rowers that would come when they would have meetings to settle tribal differences. That's an image that as they would go up and down river, when they seen it, they knew that was basically the place to pull off and stop, kind of
Okay.
like our exit signs today. But they would have, the river was, it connects to many of the other rivers in Michigan. The ones that don't connect up, it's short portage with the canoe, so they could travel anywhere in the Great Lakes region. People would come from as far away as the upper Mississippi River Valley.
Oh wow.
They had encampments or settlements downriver some, and both upriver, more near the mouth, near the lakes.
Is that supposed to be a moon, or is that just my imagination? Same thing that's like right there. Is us?
Like here.
Yeah.
We don't really know what was in any of this area, just because it's always looked like this ever since they've been doing surveys. There are some people who believe that here is like the head of a turtle and an eye, and the back. There's one on the other side. Here would be the head, the eye,
Oh yeah.
back, and a flipper.
Animal print, like animal.
Tracks and all stuff.
Yeah, like they were carving animal tracks to show what different.
There are quite a few different animal tracks on the rock. Some are thought to be animals they would come here to hunt. Others represent some of the different clans, like the Beaver Clan or the Martin or the White Crane. I was told
Pretty cool
this
part.
one here.
Natural erosion. Or this one here. There's multiple potholes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Probably like erosion or decay is what I'm guessing happened, or split from the tree root is what I'm expecting here.
What's that? Emma.
I don't know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Calm down. What's wrong? Tell me, Ruth.